I see everyone is here. Did everyone have a chance to look over the agenda?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Can I get a motion to accept the agenda as it stands?
I'll make that.
Go ahead, Paul. I'll second.
Okay.
Paula, what is going to be your last name now?
It's Yurden.
Oh, really?
Yes.
O-N or E-N?
O-N. Sorry, I shouldn't have to think about that.
This town is hard to know.
Well, and only people from this area would have that quandary.
You're right.
Okay. All right. If everyone's had a chance to look over the agenda, Chaz, any chance anybody else is on for public expression? Didn't think so. So let's go right into old business. Kevin?
Okay, so we are at a final point here. RJ Green submitted the lowest bid in the amount of $59,600. The two closest bids were 67 and 77. Obviously, that was more than what we expected because of the drainage work. So what I'm asking for tonight is the approval to sign a contract with RJ Green, because that is what we need to take the next steps with Senator Ritchie's office in terms of asking for additional money. And that is also what we need in order to be able to apply for the permits with the DOT to start doing the work. And my intention is to come back on the 28th at our next board meeting and explain how this is going to work from both a cash flow and a budgetary perspective if we don't get the additional money that we need from Senator Ritchie's office.
Okay.
The long and the short of it is that I can transfer a section of this year's budget to the funds that we received for library programming, and then use that money to pay for the overage. That's the worst case scenario.
Okay. Okay, because we can replace the funds in the budget from the money we got from the estate.
Right. So what I'm asking for tonight is approval to sign the contract, so that we can start getting the permits. And then next on the 28th, which is 9 days from now when we meet again, then I'll explain the cash flow and all of that, because I'll have had an opportunity to speak to Senator Ritchie's office.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have any questions for Kevin?
Just one question for Kevin. Since one part of the driveway is going to be left with gravel because of the drainage or whatever, will there be money in the funds to get it paved next year?
No. So there will not be a section of the driveway left in gravel. So I have one. The only thing that I want to do now is, because I spoke with Mike about this, I want to close the loop with Mike Kassler to make sure that he and Rick are on the same page in terms of the timing of this, because Rick felt that if we start right away and we get the permits and we start shortly in September, that we should be fine to do all of the work this year. So I just want to go back and ask Mike Kassler for advice. So that's the only other thing in terms of the timing of this. But there will not be any gravel parking lot left. In fact, what RJ Green is to do is, rather than resurface the existing parking lot, in their bid, they're actually replacing the entire parking lot.
That's great. That's great. I mean, for the bid they gave, that's a lot of extra work compared to resurfacing.
And they also came with very high recommendations. They actually happened to be the company that was hired by the Friendship Shop to do their work. And the Friendship, I spoke with Peggy in the Friendship Shop, said that they were very satisfied. They were also the lowest bid they received. They did exactly what they said they were going to do in the time frame that they did it. And the other nice thing is, they were the most local of the three bidders.
That's good.
So, all the people that they're hiring to do this work are from, Sandy Creek or Pulaski. So I just felt that was also important.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mike Kassler is the one who recommended the gravel or the hard rock instead of paving that one side. He was the first.
Right, but where Mike was coming from was, he was thinking drainage was going under the parking lot.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Okay.
And then the other thing that he was concerned about was whether or not the gravel was going to have time to settle before they do the repaving. And Mike seems to think that if we start now, that won't be an issue. There'll be plenty of time before winter.
Right, before things freeze and start heaving. And
So Jim, the next thing is I'll set up a meeting for you and I to meet with Mike next week.
okay,
I'll touch base with you about your calendar.
very good.
I have a little bit of a question about the driveway itself. I know there's an area when you're pulling in on both and both drives in or out, where there is a dip. And I didn't know if that was, are there roots running under there? Is it an area that they're going to build back up?
No.
Yeah, the whole entire parking lot and driveway is going to be replaced.
Okay. And there's not roots or anything that are creating that issue? That
Yeah,
tree in
no.
the center?
No, it was because of the drainage. That's
Okay.
that was the issue.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
So everything will be level once and for all.
It's a great
Okay.
question.
Okay, any other questions, concerns, comments?
I'm just happy it's all gonna be paved. All of it.
Finally,
Yay.
All right, so I make a resolution, and Jen, this was an email I sent, although there was one typo. Whereas RJ Green has submitted a bid in the amount of $59,600 for the extension and reconstruction of the library's parking lot and the associated drainage work necessary to ensure its proper installation and maintenance. And whereas the other bids received by the library for this work were in the amounts of $67,000 and $77,000, Board of Trustees of the Annie P. Ainsworth Memorial Library, through this resolution, hereby approves issuance of a contract to RJ Green for such work.
okay. So Kevin, are you making a motion?
I'm making it. That's the motion I'm making. Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay. We have a motion on the table. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
I
Very good. All right, Kevin, you can let Mike
will.
know and we can move forward then. That's
All right.
great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, there not being any other old business, I need a motion to move into executive session.
So moved.
Thank you, Kevin. Any a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Paula.
Jim, we have to state that we're inviting Jess to participate in the executive session.
Yes. Jennifer, you got that?
Huh?
Jessica has been invited to stay for the executive session,
Okay.
primarily because she's making a recommendation to the board.
All right, so then Chaz, we stop the streaming, right? Okay.
Next meeting is, as Kevin said, the 28th. If not before, we'll see you all then. Can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
I'll make that
Moved.
motion.
I'll second.
I don't think I have to ask for a vote.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Jennifer, you're all set?
Sure.